Hello guys and welcome back. My name is Tony and this is Mythical Minds. If this is your first time tuning in, I'd like to welcome you. And for my return viewers, as always, welcome back. So, I actually just made a 25-minute video and apparently it did not record, so here I am, take number 2. And I'm going to be covering one of my favorite topics today, and that will be piercings. Now, I actually did pierce semi-professionally for many years, and by semi-professionally, I mean that I was apprenticed by a piercing artist, and I also took all my bloodborne pathogen classes and tests, as well as autoclave classes and tests as well. So I know how to work all those things, and I know what the standard, or for California state law or whatever it is, I know what the standard is. It has to be set within a tattoo shop. With that being said, this is what works for me. So, first today we are going to be covering my piercings, pain and healing, care, and maintenance. So to start the video off, we're going to be covering my piercings today, and I have 18 of them, and they are all here, so none of that. They're all here. So I'll actually be putting up a picture of them right here. What do you guys think? Pretty cool, huh? Now, I actually started getting piercings when I was very young. And I won't go into the full story because it was very long and very involved. But I started piercing myself, let's put it that way. I pierced my own ear when I was 7 years old. My parents were actually okay with it, and then because they didn't want me doing anything else by myself, I had to make sure that I ran things by them first, and then they would take me to get them done professionally. So, as you can guess, they just started accumulating over the years. So, I also am very picky. If I don't like the way something looks, even if I really, really want it, or I really, really like it, and it looks bad on me, I won't rock it because I won't have the confidence behind it. That's just me. Generally, you want to use a piercing to accentuate something. If you have a very nice nose and you want a nose ring, it works. Generally, if you have a larger nose, it doesn't necessarily work with it, but you know what? To each his own. If it's what you want and you think it looks good, do you, boo. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, forgive me. I think I'm still a little loopy after that 25-minute lapse of time that I just spent on prepping this first take for you that didn't record, so I'm sorry. So, anyways, as you guys saw, I posted that picture, which I will actually post again for you, right there. Okay. And I actually, like I said, I started when I was 17, and I actually am still getting pierced now. I mean, it's something that I've always liked, and it's always growing and evolving. And the thing is, because I didn't rush out there and just get everything pierced, there are certain things that have come out since I was quite a bit younger, and they're great new ideas, and they're things that I really want. So because I don't have everything all already done, it leaves me some room, because I like to have my piercings, but I like them to also be tasteful. For me. I'm not a fan of gauged ears on myself. I'm not a fan of a lot of other, like, very heavy facial piercings on myself, but I love them on other people. It's just not something for me. Like, I love dimple piercings on people. I would never do them on myself. I already have a dimple, so where is it? That side. I already have one. I don't have two. I don't get it. My mom only has one too, so I blame her. Nonetheless, so those are my piercings, and I'm going to be going over the next part of them with you, and that's actually pain and healing. And now, first and foremost, I want to say that everybody is different. Everybody heals at different speeds, and a lot of things depend on your healing time. It depends very big on your diet, whether or not you're cleaning them too much or not enough, whether or not you sleep on them, if you play with them, you know, all those are very big factors that can increase your healing time and also increase the likelihood that you will get an infection. And so I'm going to go over the pain and healing of every single one of my piercings, and because I have a lot of duplicates, like I've got 3 in this side and 3 in this side, obviously I don't need to cover each and every one of them one by one. So nonetheless, the lobes down in here, they actually healed relatively quickly. They generally take anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. And I'm saying that very loosely, because if you're changing the jewelry at 2 months, it's not necessarily recommended. That's generally when the pain subsides, though. I wouldn't recommend changing them until about a month to a month and a half after, because you want to make sure they're completely healed before you go pulling out jewelry and replacing it with something else. Now, I have a lot of cartilage piercings on this side. I've got my industrial, and I also have my helix pierced as well, and I also have my tragus, which is that little guy right there. And on this side, I have my helix as well, and I also have my tragus, and I also have my triple forward helix right in here, which is my newest one, which I'm in love with. And I'm also wanting to get my conch pierced, or conch, which is actually goes through this portion of the ear right in here. But from my understanding, it hurts a lot. Some say yes, some say no. And the healing time for me, because my ears are thick and the cartilage is thick, it takes a lot longer for me. Now, the cartilage piercings, they vary in healing time. My industrial actually took 3 years to heal because it was torn by my nephew. He decided to turn it and play with it, and it ripped the tissue, and it took an eternity to heal. But the piercing itself wasn't bad. The healing process is very long and it's very involved. And for any cartilage piercing, like especially the ones I have, especially having long hair, it does increase your chances of getting an infection, because the hair will go down and also irritate it, not to mention the oils from your scalp will get onto the jewelry as well, because you're constantly flipping your hair over your ears. And it also makes your fingers more accessible to your ears as you're constantly doing this all the time, because you don't want to touch a fresh piercing. You don't want anything going from your hands to your ears or to your face or wherever. Excuse me. Now, cartilage piercings I think they're great. I love them. They just take a long time to heal. So make sure that you do your research and understand the undertaking. Make sure that you understand how long it takes for them to heal, the care that goes into healing them correctly, and so on. And one thing that you can get, and you can get them with your lobe piercings as well, but it's generally more common to get what they call keloids or scar tissue. Now, if you do get keloids or scar tissue, things that you can use, and I'm not an affiliate of this company or anything, but this is actually a very good product that works for me. And it's actually this guy right here, and I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to dull this light out here, but it is tea tree oil. And just a dab of this diluted with water onto the keloid does wonders. And it's not an overnight fix. Nothing with piercings or healing or anything like that is overnight. You have to be very patient, and you have to take your time and care with them. So moving forward, cartilage in general is relatively painful. It's thicker tissue, it takes longer to heal. The piercing itself generally isn't bad, it's the healing time that's a pain in the butt. It does take a while, and it's a lot of work, but I think they're definitely worth it. So my septum was almost painless. It was like getting my lobe pierced. And it actually healed, I mean, in like 2 weeks. It was completely pain-free. It was ridiculous. And I would do that one 10 times over if I had to. I mean, it was one of the simplest piercings that I had. And a lot of people will disagree, but it was a cakewalk for me. And last but not least, my tongue. And I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it while I'm talking, but okay. That one, a lot of people don't know this, but there are very little nerve endings in the center of the tongue. It's relatively dull. You don't feel too much. Now, on the outer portion of your tongue and the tip of your tongue, you have a lot of nerve endings, and you feel every little bit of it, especially if you bite your tongue. So the center of the tongue isn't very sensitive at all. So the piercing itself, I didn't feel. Now, the first day, I didn't know, oh my god, the first day was like, how am I ever going to eat again? You feel completely incapacitated. Like, you have this massive bar in your mouth and you don't know what to do with it. So, it's rather hard to adjust to. Day 2 was a little sore. Day 3, I wanted to die. And day 4, I forgot it was there. So, but because you have to be very careful with that too, because even though you don't necessarily feel it or it's not very tender, you have to make sure that you continue on with your upkeep. Mouthwash, rinses, non-alcohol by the way, and generally diluted with water so you don't have this very strong solution on your tongue. And if you do use alcohol, you can actually get keloids on your tongue as well. So any place that you have a piercing or jewelry coming through the skin, you can develop scar tissue or a keloid. Keep that in mind. Now, as for care, I've kind of covered that a little bit in my previous topic, but nonetheless, as for care, the main thing that I use is non-iodized sea salt and water. And I generally use bottled water, it's just my personal preference. But the solution is generally anywhere from half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of non-iodized sea salt to 8 ounces of warm water, not hot. And what I'll just do is and this is for fresh piercings by the way, I will just do, half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of non-iodized sea salt to warm water, and just mix it up until the salt completely dissolves. And then you just want to take a Q-tip and go ahead and clean the areas. Now, as far as care, the best time to clean your piercings is morning and night. And if you have, if you take a shower or anything like that, that's the all-time best time to clean your piercings, because the skin is much more pliable, it's a lot softer, and if you have any buildup or what they call crusties, it's actually the best time to remove those. And it's really nice to do that while the skin is pliable and soft, and the crusties or any type of buildup will actually just very easily come off. Now, if they are resisting, don't force them. Just wait another day until you take another shower or during another morning or evening cleaning and see if they'll come off, but don't force them because you don't want to disturb the skin. That's the #1 thing that you can do to disrupt it. Disrupt the healing process of a piercing is to disturb the surrounding tissue. And a lot of times they always tell you, and a lot of piercers will, just rake the thing back and forth and clean it out. Yes and no. You do want to get the solution all the way through the ear and all the way through the actual puncture wound itself, but the best time to do that is after a shower, because every time that you're pushing that bar through or rotating or doing anything, you're disturbing the tissue, and especially if there is buildup or crusties or anything like that, you're in a sense tearing them away from the skin or from the jewelry, and you're causing a great deal of irritation. It's not a good idea. Now, I actually want to cover one of the most important things with piercings is maintenance. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. As a piercer, there's nothing worse than having a client come in and say they want to get their ear pierced and it's dirty, or they have buildup, or they have gunk, or they have previous piercings that are still infected, or still really red, or still raw, or what have you. That's not necessarily a client you want to take on. Yes, money is money, but you also have to look at the well-being of your client. You have to understand that your body, it takes time for your body to heal, and if you've got several different wounds that are healing at the same time, they're all going to take longer because your body is concentrating on all these different areas to heal at the same time. Now, I used to have a client, or I had a client that came in and they had buildup and gunk and just awful. And I mean, all their piercings were healed, and I'm thinking, oh, this guy's got 15, 16, 17 piercings. He knows his business. Well, he knows how to get pierced. That's about it. But he's not taking care of them. And for me, I'm not going to pierce somebody that's really dirty or doesn't know how to take care of them, because there's nothing worse than having to literally wipe down all the tissue. I mean, you're supposed to clean them anyways when you go to pierce them, but when they have gunk on all the surrounding tissue, it's not really an ideal situation. So, I mean, it's literally the best way I can describe it is you literally have to take out the trash before you can pierce, because it literally takes all this extra time and effort and energy to actually clean the area thoroughly before you can even pierce them. And there's really no guarantee that what you're going to do to them isn't going to end up the same way. And as a body piercer or body modifier, or whatever you'd like to say, as a piercing artist, your piercings are your work. That's your, that's how people recognize you. Oh, if it's done really well, it speaks for itself. And one of the things that they use, or one of the sayings that they use, is you are only as good as your worst work. So that means, in a sense, it doesn't matter how good you are, if something poor walks out of your shop, that's what people are going to remember. Nonetheless, you could have this impeccable resume of all these amazing clients, but if you've got somebody walking around and they've got this poor display of what you've done, it gives you a bad image, and that's the last thing that you want. And with that being said, it's very important that you research your shop. And with all of the reviews and everything that we have between Yelp and YouTube and all the other things that we have, it's very crucial that you really do your homework. And sometimes, and I will say this, if it's the cheapest, it's not the best, and if it's the most expensive, it's not the best either. You have to really look at, go in and investigate. Go in, introduce yourself, say hi, see how they handle other clients, just browse. If they have a piercing portfolio or something that you can look at, ask for it. And then if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, there is no reason why you can't ask your piercer. And they should be able to answer all those questions for you. And it should really set your mind at ease and make the entire experience a lot easier for you. That's how I would handle my clients, and I had no problem answering their questions, and I actually preferred it because I knew that they were doing the research that they should. Because there's nothing worse than having a client come to me and they have been pierced by someone that didn't know what they were doing, and they tell me, fix it. Well, I can't fix it. It's already been done. Your best bet is to take the piercing out and let it heal and let me redo it. And that's a lot of time, effort, energy, and money. And a lot of people don't want to go through all that again. So it's very important to do your research before you take that on, and also understand what the care and upkeep of that piercing is, and see if it's something that you really want long term. It's all very important. Now, I think I've actually covered everything. I know I've got a bit of editing to do. And also, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns about piercings, care, maintenance, pain and healing, or anything, please leave it down in the comments box below and I'll get back to you. Oh, and also, if you guys did want to know, because I've actually had a lot of questions recently, the jewelry that I have in my ear was actually custom made for me. And it's actually made with opal. It's made with real opal. And I will actually be putting a link to the piercing shop that I go to if you guys are in Southern California or California in general and you want to make the trip. I highly, highly, highly recommend this shop. It's actually the best, literally it's actually been voted the best piercing shop and tattoo shop in the Valley. And when you say that for Los Angeles, there is a dime a dozen. So honestly, they're a small shop, but they are incredible. So I highly recommend you check them out. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and have a fantastic day as always.